The topic for today's exercise once again is shielding, and we talked about this in the lecture on Wednesday, and so I thought that I think I told that I will bring some more samples. So this is also something that I got at some conference, some exhibition. This is from a company called 3M. I think you know them from gluing tape that they will also sell, and they have also electrically conductive tapes. And so these are some samples here. This is just a contact card. So I think this is some kind of ferrite material that will also work against magnetic fields. And so you can see there are different samples, and there are usually also the conducting copper things. So I have not checked all the data sheets. There's always a sticker on the back what this really means. And some are thicker, some are thinner. And so this is also something that you could use on a printed circuit board, for example, or inside a cell phone to shield one compartment from the other compartment. And so the shielding efficiency for electric fields and for electromagnetic fields, even of this very thin copper foil, would be very good. Magnetic shielding, as we discussed, always is a problem, and the connection, how you connect this to the other thing. So if you like, you can, watching online is difficult, but if you're on the room, you can of course have a look at this. And so what else I brought is this bag, and inside this bag, I don't know what this is. So inside this bag is lots of shielding textile from different companies. And there's another student. Hello. Also, very small samples, and you can see you can almost watch through, but also thicker ones and larger ones and smaller ones, all metallized textile. And I think they have been tested. So I got this from a colleague, from a friend of our Fraunhofer Institute in Magdeburg, and I think they tested them for some project on RFID tunnel gates. And so with RFID tags, you want to read products in logistic processes, right? You want to know what's inside a parcel without having to open the parcel. And so sometimes even for textiles, for cloth, for a sweater like this, there might be some RFID tag in there. So you have a box of, 50 t-shirts, and every t-shirt has some RFID tag. And so you can know with some RFID reader what's inside a package without having to open it. And so they did some process with these RFID tags, and so they had the problem that they always got false readings from parcels in the surrounding. So they started to shield their reading area, their reading volume. And of course, we can take solid walls for the shielding there, but parcels need to go in and out. And so they made curtains out of this material where the textile will go through the curtain, and this will still have some sub-shielding effect. And so the small experiment that we can maybe do is, I've brought my old cell phone, and I have my new cell phone, so that I have two cell phones that I can call each other. And I think the problem is that in the old one, the speaker is broken. So if I call this old one, it's just making some vibrating noise, but it's audible in the room. And so I will quit the call, and now the idea is if we take a larger piece of this textile, I think this is pretty large here, and if we wrap the cell phone tightly within this, the idea is that of course this is shielding against electromagnetic fields, and so the cell phone should not have any reception anymore. And so if I once again call the cell phone, So now it's calling. Nothing happens anymore because Cellphone is shielded and won't have reception anymore to the, or no connection to the base station. And yeah, the other phone is still saying it's calling. And now it's saying, okay, the person you have called is not available at present, or something like this. Okay, so quite nice demo on how the shielding works. And I mean, now we could do it the other way around, wrap the new Cellphone. Maybe you can try, right? I mean, maybe, because people might say, yeah, but this is right, your old Cellphone and modern cell phones. So let's do it the opposite way around. I'm taking the old Cellphone and from the old Cellphone calling the new Cellphone. And there it's ringing, okay. So I would quit the call once again, maybe turn off the screen, and we will take this big piece of shielding textile here once again, wrap the Cellphone in it. So there are, of course, now several layers, and I will call once again. Yeah, and it's calling, but nothing is happening. And maybe we also have to wait here until we get this, let's say, error message that the person you're calling is not available at present. But at the moment, I don't hear anything. Just the speaker was broken, not the internal. So now it was also saying something like the person you have called is not available at present. Die angerufene Telefonnummer ist nicht erreichbar. Irgendwie something like this. Okay, so yeah, nice demo of shielding. And there's a question.
These clothes are made of?
These clothes are made of metallized fabric. So I think there are different ways, and I don't find my cell phone anymore. So there are different ways to produce them. So one way, of course, would be to take usual fabric, so some plastic fibers, and cover these or metallize these plastic fibers. So that I think, and this is the way how it's done here. So this is like a usual plastic fabric, and then the surface is metallized. And I'm not sure how they do it. I mean, this is probably the expertise of the company, yeah, who made them. If the fabric is woven first and then it's metallized, or if let's say the garment is metallized first and then the fabric is woven, I'm not sure. So the problem with them, of course, is they are not super strong and super solid, because at the end it's plastic and they might burn. Or if you heat them up too much, they might burn. And you can also see that there are some samples here, like this one here, which looks not that good anymore. And I think what happened here is that it was either exposed to heat or exposed to direct sunlight. And so because of the direct sunlight, then they will degrade. And I'm not sure if let's say, the shielding here would that nicely work anymore.
So yeah, you can try again with this model.
I could try again with this model, but I think the problem is that it's just a small area here. So yeah, we could try. And so then there is fabric, I think, like this one, which is a little more stiff, and this might be really only metal fibers. So there is material like this that is purely made out of metal. And so then, of course, this will be very heat resistant and also quite strong in itself. But of course, if you bend it too often, then the metal fibers will break. So this is probably more flexible. And so I think this was some problem and some issue that they tested in this shielding curtain project. If you have 1,000 parcels per day going through this RFID tunnel gate, and each parcel will move the curtain until how many days, weeks, and years of operation they will break.
I have